So we are going to give Dotted Range another try. Map by Kinderfrog. And of course, Iron Teeth. Because last one was Folktales. Dotted Range. Hard. So, let's see what we get into. Alright, so we need to name this settlement. Let's call it Quick and Easy. Alright, so first thing we need to do, we need to demolish that. So we got bombs in here. Got some water here, and I've been made aware that there's bombs in here as well. So we got a lot of work to do. Alright, so first things first. Cut down the world. There we go. Second thing, get our pathing in. We'll do this kind of pathing. Water. Want to get some water pumps going. And we need to get water storage going. So, water, duplicate. You know what? One more. Want to get this going. Where is... There it is. We'll get 2 tree cutters. Berry pickers. And I think we're good. So up that up to 4 workers. And we should be good to go. So we need to make sure this and this are prioritized. And those 4 are prioritized. Alright. Let's rock and roll. Alright, come on. We need to get this water going. Alright, we got water, and because it's something that does food or water, always has high priority in my book. Same with this one. We got an empty job, so we will go down. Alright, so we got some water to work with. We can get that cut. Need to get that demolished. Alright. Water is kind of slow. So power... Oh, building is flooded. Alright, so we're going to have to do a power wheel. And a lumber mill for the start to get things going. And we've got the science, so I'm going to unlock the forester. Oh, I forgot about the breeding tanks. 1, 2, 3. We're going to start with 3 for now. And it looks like we could use some berry storage. Berry storage, here we go. That's all being taken care of. Mark that for demolition. Mark that for demolition. Gonna come over here. One beaver without a job. Drought is approaching. So, they have taken care of those, so I can put in the path here. Let's get that going, and that going. And then we'll need to get this going. Oh, well, I see a bush that needs to be removed. Remove that. Oh, that's part of the building. Get rid of those. Alright. You are doing your thing. Want to get the berry storage going. Come on, get the berry storage done. And you will have one worker. You'll be a tour. Come on, just wait. Alright, there we go. Duplicate. Bring that over here. We can close that down. Let's see. We need to get rid of this. Alright. We can move you to over here. And we can move you to over here. Alright, drought has happened. And we're in hard mode, so the first 3 cycles are going to be droughts. And you know what? We need to demolish that. So let's get that going. Building unstaffed. We can get rid of you. You can be paused. We've got an injured beaver already. Thorns are at 29%. Okay, another injured beaver. Okay, we can pause one of you. Pause one of you. There we go. We're now making planks. This path has been deleted. Alright. So let's get the forester in here. And all that's been, yeah, all that's been marked. Let's see. Mark resources for demolition. Alright, those have been marked. Alright, that's built, so we're good. Let's see, can I get a hospital bed going? So well-being, medical bed. Try to get, yes, unlock it. Try to get these beavers taken care of, which means we're going to need a science. No, wait, we're not going to need science because we can demolish that. So we're good there. Yes, I'm aware. Unconnected. Alright, there we go. Waiting for this to be taken care of, so we need to move over to here. And let's see. Straight line to here. Alright, all that's been taken care of. We're slowly making way on this. We need to get food going. So get that and that. And get all this marked for Karabi. Nothing doing range. Well, you gotta wait a moment. Alright, drought has ended. Cycle 2 begins. Let's see. Anything to do with food and water has high priority. We can get rid of you. You can be paused and you can be paused. That can be just deleted. That can be deleted. They're complaining about lack of food. Alright. Hopefully the berries kick in soon. Let's see. Mark resources. That. And that. Alright, we are connected up to this. Get that connected. That connected. Alright. We are good to go. Oh, there's some berries down here you can collect. Oh, but... we're going to pause you for a hot tick. Get birch planted. Alright, so everyone is doing their thing. Got another drought approaching. Power. Geothermal. Yes, we need a geothermal engine. You guys focus on harvesting. The other side will focus on planting. Come on. You guys aren't doing your thing. I think I waited too long to get the farms going. What building is unstaffed? We can go down to 2 workers. Oh, here comes the Karabis. Alright, we should be good. And we just had a beaver die from starvation. Oh gosh. Well then. This might be a restart, just because I forgot to get food going. If only one dies from starvation, we might be fine, though. be fine. Medium. Where? Oh. Yeah, we got trees over there. Yeah, so we're fine. We're fine. Plant. Alright. Cycle 2 has started. It's a drought. Mark that for deletion. Ad break coming in 3 minutes. Alright. Looks like we're going to be fine. I thought I screwed this up. I did not. Well, we got a new problem. Berries are being eaten. We can probably put both of you to focus on harvesting. Buildings unstaffed. Both my wood cutters. How's this looking? Needs logs and planks. How's this looking? Doing its job. Okay. Well, we got log cutters again. And we can do stairs. Alright, we're starting to stockpile kohlrabi and berries, so that means we got new beavers coming in. One beaver without a job. Well, how's this looking? We can probably pause you and get you guys going again. And then once we get this going, we can move our industry. How far do you reach? You reach all that. Okay. Alright. Drought's over. We're on to cycle 3. Things are moving along. Seems like we're recovering, so far not a restart. Getting a lot of the berries taken care of. You just need one more plank and one more log. Alright, you're done. Get that high prioritized. Could use more water storage. Okay. How are we doing here? 2 out of 12. We could use another woodcutter. We can actually pause you and pause you. Lumber mill. Alright, day 3, no drought warnings. We're making good progress. How are we doing over here? 150 for a oneer. Okay, so that's done. So we can demolish those. Gets us plenty of logs back. We can also start demolishing this. Let's see. I can get rid of these cutting zones. We got another drought approaching. That is okay in my book. 2 beavers without anything to do. You guys get those collected, please? Oh, did I... Yeah, I forgot to mark these for cutting. There we go. Alright. You guys are taking a lot of logs. Uh, 16, 4. And you know what? Let's get this worked on. These are marked for water. Yes, they are. Alright. Getting plenty of logs there. Just curious. I need a oneer. Two beavers with nothing to do. Alright, getting plenty of water stored up. That's good. Day 6, so day 7 is a drought. That's actually a pretty good drought cycle. Could also use Karabi storage. Karabi, here we go. And we can get 2 more small tanks in here. We'll get this grabbed in a moment. Alright. So they're grabbing that. Last thing to grab. Alright, we're good. Alright, so we can high prioritize this. And I think we need to get our berry picking stuff going. So it's just now a matter of waiting for things to get done. Alright, cycle 4 begins. So now we get to find out, is it going to be a drought or is it a bad tide? We're making progress. Got through the thorns. Getting this wood harvested. Bridge is finished. And we're getting things all together. Building unstaffed. What's unstaffed? We still have 2 injured beavers. Your injury's almost done. And yours is almost done. You're collecting logs. Alright, now we have a beaver without a job. Need to get these inventor huts going. Day 2, so far no issues. And we got a bad tide approaching. Lovely. Lovely. Because the way this map is, The bad tide will take a while to hit, but when it does finally hit, it's going to take a while to go away. So we need to get this going. So first things first. All that needs to be planted. And all that needs to be planted. And we need a forester here. And you know what? There we go. Bunch of that. Alright, so we got a forester here. Where can we pull from? Where can we pull from? Landscaping. 120 for the levee. 100 for the platform. We're going to need the water dump. 250. Oh gosh, 250 for that. Stinks we can't just... Well, hold your biscuits. Alright. Levy. Where are you? Levy, levy, levy. There you are. We got enough signs for you. Yes, unlock. Alright. That needs to be done. And then demolish this. High priority. That'll get us the signs we need. While we're working on it... Okay, so while we're working on it, we're going to demolish this, just for the time being. Levy. Stairs. That needs to be... well, that's gonna just die in a day. And until we... Dies in 0.6 days. Ah. Gosh, dang it. High priority that. Bad tides here. Alright, we got that taken care of. reconnect that. We'll connect this over here, this over here. That needs to go away. Mark that for demolition. In fact, mark this and this. This is fine sticking around. And we can... Nope. Gosh dang. Don't know how that happened. High priority that. Do we only have two? Yeah, we only have two. Oh, I can actually pause you guys for the hot tick. Alright. So we got that taken care of. That needs to be taken care of. High priority this. That's almost dealt with. We're going to pause you. Oh, you. We already got beavers working over here. So you can be an inventor. Alright. That's taken care of. Some more berry storage. Alright, we're getting to this. Alright, we got the science. We need... Yes, we need that. Fluid dump. Yes, please. Platform. Can't do the automation yet. We can, however, do showers. Alright. This whole thing needs to be done right away. We're good there. Berries is starting to become an issue, so I'm going to pause you. Gathering flag. Hey, John, how you doing? Hopefully you're having a good one today. How goes it? It goes pretty good. Thought for a second I would have to restart, but only one beaver starved, so we're doing good on that. We're in the middle of a bad tide. Is this the Thin Thousand map? Yes, this is Dotted Range. You know, it just dawned on me. I could turn that back on. And they can grab the... I keep forgetting to mark. There we go. And... you know what? I'm going to set those here. And I'm going to duplicate this here. Alright, should be doing fine. Back to 26 beavers, so I can turn this back on. And everything's going fine. Alright, cycle 5. But we won't feel the effects of the good tide for a while. Can you guys get that done? Oh, and you got the pathway done, so I can actually delete this. Alright, they got all that done. So I can tell them to high priority this. You're done with your thing, so I'm going to pause you. You need to stay a high priority workplace. And the reason why I have a little platform here is because I'm hoping to eventually get automation going. Oh, and the bad water seeps are getting ready to go. Oh, this ain't good. Alright, that's good. So berries are going to keep on coming in. One beaver without a job. Plenty of logs. So let's get the water storage finished. Alright, we're up to 28 beavers. You know, I got an idea. Delete this. Yes. District center. Move it here. Now... where is it? There it is. So get that. Get that. Get that. And get that. And we don't need a crazy thing because it's just... Well, hold on. If I do something like this... I could put farms up here. And symmetry's sake. I actually need to destroy that path. And fluid dump. High priority workplace. Alright, so that hopefully will get us our Karabis back. You can be paused. You can be paused. You can be paused. We can get science going again here. Still bad water, but we got the good water coming in. Beavers complaining about hunger. You know what? We can get this re-queued up to high priority. Alright, got a bunch of berry collectors. Gain the wood together for that. Oh. Pause that. We're about to go over 30 beavers. One without a job. I'll give it a moment. Okay, drought is approaching. That's good. That's gonna get some of this bad tide out. How are we doing over here? It's bubbling. Oh. Oh, it would help if I upped... I'm back. Welcome back, Ned. A lot of hungry beavers. I got a bad feeling. How's it going? I got a bad feeling. Hey, Kender, how you doing? Been a while since I seen ya. Hopefully you're having a good one today. They're getting the berries. Just getting up. Ah. Haven't caught you in a while. Yeah, doesn't help that I have to keep switching times around with work and all that. Alright, so... Alright, so what I needed to do was probably get the Karabi situation dealt with as soon as possible, or move to cassavas and get that processing. So, but we're making progress. I honestly do believe this map could be beat on hard mode for the Iron Teeth. It's just taking a little work to do. So, we're going to try again.